Hey everyone, this video is different than all the rest. This is directly targeted towards a particular person. You want to thank you for watching if you happen to come across it, but that's what this is about. This project started off, as I've been talking about and everything else, as me putting things out across the internet on various different platforms and taking whatever comes back, whatever connections come back, and however small, and developing and running with, and so on and so forth. And this one is a special one because it's one of the big ones to me. So I wanted to make this video first. It's to my friend Audrey. Audrey connected to me when I started putting videos out in a very personal way and private way, because she understood what I was trying to do. I think even more so before I did, to be honest. But and she just reached out to me simply to say, I know what you're doing, and there's people out here that appreciate it. And even when I thanked her for that a couple days later, she told me, because I was a little down, I was like, yeah, thanks. I think you're about the only person that reached out to me and told me that someone got it. And she simply replied back, said, don't let that get, they're just not saying anything. It's getting to more people than you know. Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be fine. Which has always been my relationship with Audrey. She's always been like a big sister in my life. Or at least she was when she was in my life. On a daily basis, and was extremely important to it, for a bunch of reasons, both professional and personal, actually. So at the time, so she's very special to me. So when I was first told and given terms like awakening and things like that, just to throw in on top of this, again, I don't know what anything is, Audrey. I'm not trying to say that. So when all of this started, the first person that after the first person that mentioned anything like remotely like that to me said that, I reached out to two people, and the purpose of this video is to show how you continually to be in and out and connected to this, and this felt like the next thing I was supposed to do. So that's my first attempt to make one of these one-on-ones, and see what comes out of it. But the reason I made it was because after I spoke to my friend that brought all of these things in my life, I reached out to two people, you being one of them, the other one being my friend Stephanie, who goes back even longer to childhood. But you guys played the same exact role in my life at a very young age. Her when I was about 15, 16, you when I was about 19, 20. So, and which was an older big sister looking out for me. So I reached out to both of you. And what I found most interesting, or more interesting than anything really, was that both of you were already very much aware of all of it. All of it. Like whatever it is that's started for me recently, you guys dealt with a long time ago. Or I don't know. I don't know, but I reached out to you for a reason, and it's because I knew I could trust you and you would be comfortable, for whatever reason, talking to me back about this stuff and not making me feel, I was losing my damn mind. And I thought it was amazing because the advice back was exactly what I needed to hear, and there's no two other people on the planet that could have given it to me, and me taking it how and and sincerely, or being able to take it, except you two are the only two. And I just thought it was weird that, but I thought I took that as a connection because it was a subject that it was so difficult for me to understand that it was going to take two of the strongest people in my life. You see what I'm saying? Like in order to even get me there, So it makes sense to me now why I reached out to both you and Steph, because you're the only two that could that I would believe when it came to putting all this together, which is crazy, right? Or not crazy, but that was important or significant to me. And then the next thing was the lady that kind of brought all of this into my life. She, and here's where it's kind of a little quirky, but she, she's a medium, and she's Shania Twain's cousin, right? She's the one that is kind of, and I didn't know her. I'd never talked to her or even heard of her. before I had spoken with either one of you. Or I had heard of her at that point, but I didn't, not by name. She was still in my world a medium, some medium out there connected to Shania Twain. I didn't know no more than that at that point. So the very next day, after finding out that she even exists, was the day that you messaged me back and told me that, hey, I'm sure you're getting through to people that are just not commenting. And right after you sent me that, literally about 30 seconds later, I found out the medium's name. It was Audrey. Coincidence? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it's significant in that, in context with everything else that's going on at the time. I was like, wow, Audrey, right? So then my sister Stephanie, my big sis Steph, at least that's what I call her, I always have, she reaches out to me and starts to share with me that she has this amazing connection to all this stuff and understanding. She starts to explain it to me in a way that I really understand, because again, I completely trust her with everything, and she's definitely the only person that could have got me as far as she did, because of the connections we were able to make. Biggest being, she was deeply connected to one of her grandparents, like I was. Like Audrey, you know that, like you know that considered to be. I was raised by my grandparents, my grandfather. Well, she lost her grandmother, and I lost my grandfather on the same exact date, December 8th, right? And which is the same day that my original friend that the medium reached out to lost her mom on December 8th. See, so now I know all these are just synchronicities, and just we all have them, but it was in the context of how this was unfolding that made them so powerful to me. So, but then it even got even cuter, you know. So Stephanie reaches out to me. She shares with me the fact that we have this date in common, and so many others, especially coming up in the month of June. I even sent you a list of those because it connects to so many other things, like major things, right? So, like, it wasn't just 2 or 3 connections with her. It was like 100, all in them. I could put together in a matter of days that are going on right now for us. But she then shares with me that she had a recording of giving birth to her son, which would have to be 20 years older or more, longer probably. She's a few years older than me, a couple years older. But and in the background, in the room while this is going on, I didn't see the video, but in the background, she shares with me that there's a Shania Twain video, crazy, playing on the tape. So there's the Shania Twain, Audrey medium, So I'm like, man, that's just so cool. And this is before I've even spoken to the Audrey lady. So cool. So then later on that same day, or the next morning actually, is when the Audrey lady reaches out to me, and we had a very interesting conversation, some of the stuff she shared. But I just wanted to share that. I know that I've invited you to a couple of groups that I've met and gotten started to do some things with that are really interesting. I see you on the outside looking in and everything. I see you, and trying to figure out what the hell I'm up to. And I'm just sticking to my original plan, which was take whatever's up here, put it out there. When it comes back, figure out what connection there is to it, however small, and let that connection grow and develop, because it just keeps connecting itself, and that's the idea. So I miss you. I hope you're doing well out there in San Diego. I know you love being back at the beach. I can see that in any picture, and you love being a nurse. I can see that too. It's a very big difference than the last time we were able to see each other or work together or were friends. It's a very, very different place for you to be in. One that I am extremely proud of, because I know that must have been one hell of a journey to get